In 1884, European powers met in Berlin to divide Africa. This is the story of the deal that broke Africa. Held in Berlin, Germany from November 1884 to February 1885, the Berlin Conference was a significant event in world history. 14 European countries attended, including major powers like Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, and Italy. The primary purpose of this conference was to divide the African continent among themselves, aiming to avoid potential conflicts and wars between European powers over African territories. It is crucial to note that the conference was not intended to benefit Africa or its people. Instead, it was a strategic move by European nations to expand their empires and exploit Africa's vast resources. Shockingly, no African leader or representative was invited to the conference, meaning the fate of an entire continent was decided without any input from its inhabitants. This event marked the beginning of a period known as the Scramble for Africa, leading to decades of colonization and profound impacts on African societies, economies, and cultures. Africa was split into over 50 colonies, with borders drawn on maps with rulers, ignoring tribes, cultures, and history. Families, tribes, and nations were split or forced together. For example, Nigeria, over 250 ethnic groups placed into one colony. The Congo claimed as the personal property of King Leopold II of Belgium. This arbitrary division led to decades of conflict and strife. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, where European powers met to divide Africa, had no African representatives. The decisions made in those rooms still echo today, causing political and social turmoil. The colonial powers exploited Africa's rich resources, leaving a legacy of economic disparity. The imposition of foreign rule disrupted traditional governance and social structures. The scars of colonialism are still visible in the continent's political boundaries and ethnic tensions. The impact on African societies was profound, altering the course of history. The struggle for independence in the mid-20th century was a direct response to these imposed borders and the exploitation that followed. The carving of Africa is a stark reminder of the consequences of colonial ambition. Artificial borders drawn by colonial powers led to devastating civil wars, tribal conflicts, and long-lasting political instability across the African continent. These borders ignored ethnic, cultural, and linguistic lines, sowing seeds of discord. Resources were plundered: gold, rubber, oil, and diamonds, leaving nations impoverished. The education systems, traditions, and religions of Africans were systematically suppressed, eroding cultural identities. Many African economies were structured to serve European interests, not the needs of their own people. This exploitation created a legacy of economic dependency and underdevelopment. The impact of these actions is still felt today, as many African nations struggle to rebuild and reclaim their heritage. The scars of colonialism are deep, affecting generations and shaping the socio-political landscape of modern Africa. Today, Africa is still recovering from that conference, but African youth are waking up. Movements for Pan-Africanism, unity, and true independence are growing. The truth must be told and remembered. The Berlin Conference divided Africa, but Africa will not stay broken. We are rebuilding, reclaiming, and remembering. Like, subscribe, and share this video to learn more about Africa.